So 1 year of episodes. Can you believe it? I definitely can't. It just seems like yesterday that the podcast started, but here we are. And I am so, so grateful for you listening and spending this time with us. And I know it's only, a little bit of time each week. And whether you're someone who listens every Wednesday as the episodes are released, or whether you're someone who binges everything once it's, once it's all up and you're heading on a road trip. And so you listen to a few in a row, or you do it on the weekend while you're getting your Sunday reset done. Whichever kind of listener you are, I am grateful that you are here and that you have joined us. And so I guess today we're just celebrating a little bit. And I wanted to talk about the importance of taking time to celebrate. Because as business owners, quite often we spend time celebrating our staff. We spend time celebrating our customers when, they've done something. If they return to us, if they give us a referral, we often celebrate them. But we don't often spend a lot of time celebrating us. And I think that's because, we're the person to always be organizing the celebrations. And so at the end of the day, sometimes we're just a little bit too tired and we just go, okay, no, we'll just pass that by and keep on moving. Are you guilty of this in the same way that I'm guilty of this? I've tried to be better at it in the last little while. And that's why I wanted to spend some time talking about it today, because, so often these milestones happen and they pass us by. And business is not easy. Being in business is not easy. You have those days where it's really hard to get out of bed. It's really hard to get yourself moving. And, the passion's gone a little bit and the overwhelm is there a little bit more. And you really struggle. And it's being able to reward yourself and actually pat yourself on the back and have those little moments that I think give you momentum, so that the good days become days that happen more often, and those bad days hopefully don't happen as often. So it's really important to make sure that when you do have a moment to celebrate, that you do just that. And in the last week, and this will be a couple of weeks ago now once this episode airs, but in the last week we have celebrated 10 years of Port Macquarie Performing Arts, which is my little business. And it's actually 12 years, because we tried to do the 10-year celebration in 2020, but of course there were so many restrictions on how many people could attend and whether they had to wear masks and how they needed to stand and where we needed to sit them away from, distance from each other and all of that thing. We just kind of gave it a miss until we could do it the way we wanted to do it. And that was with everybody, coming together, spending time on the dance floor, hugging and kissing when they arrived. And that seems a little bit more doable now. So we had our 10-year anniversary, our 10-year celebration on the 12 years. And I said to Christy, who put the whole event together and snaps for Christy, she's an incredible member of my team. I said, it's only 8 years until we have to plan the 20 years. So let's put those systems and, all of those to-do lists, let's put them somewhere safe, because we're going to blink and turn around and then it's going to be here again, time to celebrate again. But it was really important for us to mark that milestone. And it was, even more important to be able to mark it post-COVID. So many dance studios didn't survive that time. So many small businesses didn't survive during that COVID time. All their businesses changed dramatically. And we had a really hard time during COVID. We had a really hard time continuing to be inspiring for our students. We had to continue being inspired as artists ourselves and as creators in the classroom. And the fact that we got through that period and that the business is still surviving and the business is now thriving, I thought deserved celebration. So if it wasn't just the 10-year anniversary, I hope that I would have also put together some kind of celebration just to say, hey, we did that. We got through that. And it was so lovely to be able to bring people together to join in that celebration. And I'm not saying that every time that you make a sale or every time that you get to the end of the month and you've made a profit that you need to throw a big party, but we did throw a big party. We went to Sales, which is one of the, the big function rooms here in Port Macquarie. And we shipped in, professional entertainers from Melbourne, and we made sure we had a fabulous MC we're so lucky that we have on our staff, people with fabulous skills like that. And we took our audience on a journey. We took them on the journey that they had come on. We invited alumni, so students who had graduated from Port Macquarie Performing Arts before, to come back with their families. We encouraged current students to attend with their families. So the room was this really beautiful mix of old students and new students, and, you know, the last generation and the next generation, which was really special for me to see. But in addition to that, it was an opportunity for me to thank all of the people who have really made a big difference in Port Macquarie Performing Arts and in creating the business that it is. Not only were members of my family there, but I invited, you know, dignitaries from town, special guests, people who had said yes to me in the early days when, you know, Port Macquarie Performing Arts was just an idea. We invited, you know, my bank manager that gave me my very first loan, the real estate agent that got us into our first studio and second and third studio, and, you know, John, who handles our insurance, all of the people that really I lean on in those areas of business that I'm not so strong on, and that I don't, especially in the early days, that I didn't quite understand. Those were the people that took the time to explain things to me, to help me along that journey. And I really wanted to celebrate them on this night, as well as celebrating the fact that we had got through to this milestone. So the night was a nice blend of thank yous and personal experiences. Some of our alumni shared their personal experiences of what they went on to do after they were at Port Macquarie Performing Arts, and how the lessons they learnt at PMPA have shaped the people that they have gone on to be. And not all of them are dancers. You know, we had nurses speak and physios speak, and, you know, dancers as well, environmental scientists. And it was so lovely to hear how the lessons that they learned in the dance studio have, you know, impacted their adult life. So as you can imagine, I was like a weepy, teary mess for most of the night, because it was just so lovely. But taking that time to celebrate and taking that time to mark that occasion was really, really special to me. And it's something that I won't forget. We made sure we had Chris, our fabulous photographer, there. We also inducted people into our Hall of Fame. So we have a lifetime achievement kind of life member Hall of Fame fancy to do that. Occasionally we reward to people within our dance community that really are incredible. And so we inducted 4 new members into our Hall of Fame. So that was a really special part of the evening. And I think just to touch on that a little bit, these aren't necessarily always people from the same kind of group. They're not always a dance mum, or not always a staff member, or not always, you know, a contractor or a supplier, but it's a mix of people who have really gone above and beyond for our students and for our experience, and who have really trusted us at PMPA and trusted the idea of PMPA for a number of years. And so it was really special to be able to really connect with those people and to publicly thank those people whilst at such a big event. So if there are ways that you can create, and, you know, we created this award, we go and get the trophies made up, and it's what we make it. If there are ways for you to do that in your business, to be able to create something special for those people who do trust you and do keep coming back to you and are great suppliers, or are great customers, or are great team members, then I totally encourage you to do it, because the 4 people that were inducted the other night were really shocked and excited, and that was lovely to see as well, because they didn't feel like they had done anything special, but I wanted them to know that in our eyes and from the perspective of our business, they are one of a kind, and they are certainly really special. So that was our celebration evening, and we had, you know, we've got some gorgeous photos and gorgeous video to show for it, because you know, we were so lucky to get some beautiful images. Everyone was dressed up and looked fancy and lovely. And that was so lovely to see as well. Patrick came along. Lucinda was invited, but when she heard she had to wear a dress, she decided not to come. And so Patrick said, I'll come. So we went and bought Patrick a suit and a bow tie and a special shirt. And he came along on the night and was just thrilled to bits to be there, especially because he was dressed exactly the same as Daddy, and that was really special for him. So we got some cute photos of him and I, and that's always fun to do. And so I encourage you, when you can find a way to celebrate where you're at in business, find a way to celebrate your business journey, find a way to celebrate yourself, because these milestones, like a year of episodes of your podcast, or 10 years in your business, or even just a really good month, or, your highest sale ever that's come through, or your biggest day, or your biggest month, or your biggest year, those things are important. And celebrating them and reminding yourself of why you do what you do every day is a really great way to pat yourself on the back, to give yourself a reminder that, yes, all this hard work is worth it. All those late nights thinking about your budget and thinking about the forecasts and thinking about how things, your cash flow is going to work for the next 30 days. All of that is worth it when you find the moments to celebrate something. So I encourage you to think now about a moment that you can celebrate. Perhaps it's a moment that's going to be coming up in the future, or perhaps it's something that's already happened and you just want to make a special moment of it and make mark of it, for yourself, for your team members, and perhaps for your customers and suppliers and all the people that are in your business community, and the people that are important to you and to what you do. We are certainly excited that this is our 1 year of episodes. We thank you so much for listening. I thank my incredible team, not just Christy, who I've already mentioned, but also Tanae, who takes care of the content after I've recorded the podcast and done the actual, the talking bit. Once the talking bit is done, Tanae takes care of the words, and I so appreciate that. I love podcasting. I used to work in radio, and I've loved radio since I was younger. I had my first radio show when I was 13. And so podcasting for me gives me the opportunity to combine my love of communication and of this audio medium with my love of business and my love of what I get to do every day. So it's a really beautiful blend for me. And I'm so excited that I get to do it, every week for you, and that you take time out of your very busy schedules to put me in your earpods and listen to what I have to say. So thank you so much for being here today.